Hi, everybody. So glad to see you. Please feel free to unmute yourselves right now. We're just going to say hello to everybody, see what's going on. Good, thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we are recording. I'm going to put everybody except for the two authors and myself on mute. Veronica, go ahead and unmute yourself. And then what I'm going to do is I'm getting some weird kind of reaction to this light thing. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Okay, good. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight our first author. I'm going to spotlight our second author. I'm going to spotlight my show. Okay.
Beautiful.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us for book club. When I first scheduled book club, I thought that there's only one book. And actually, when I scheduled you guys to come interview with us, there was just one book. But now there's two books, two books for the price of one. I'm so excited. So, first, when this book came out, how long has this book been out?
Since February.
Since February. Okay, so it's kind of like a new, it's like a new baby book. And then this one has only been out for since what?
Beginning of June.
June. Yeah. Okay. So these are baby books for kids. Okay, so they just came out and we love them. What I would like to do is, I guess the first thing I want to do is I'm going to ask Erika to introduce herself and Veronica to introduce herself, and then I'm going to introduce the book a little bit, and then we can go around and ask some more questions, yeah? So Erika, I know that you're a trainer, I know that you're a Havener, and I know that you wrote 2 books. Please fill us in on the rest.
Sure. Thanks, Fee. Okay, so I'm a psychotherapist. I live in Northern Virginia near Washington, D.C. I do a lot of trauma work, treating PTSD and phobias and panic disorder, things like that. I try to use psychosensory methods as much as possible, havening mostly, sometimes a little EMDR tapping, use a lot of mindfulness. What else? I'm doing work remotely. I'm about to embark on traveling and working remotely. I'm trying to travel all over the world, actually. I have two young adults. My daughter's 21, my son's 18, and he's going to college, and that's why I'm starting to travel more. Havening is a big part of my life. Okay.
Hi, that's amazing. I think that the coolest part, you're muted. Press unmute. Am I mute? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think that's so cool. Okay, so you've done all this stuff. You're a therapist, you've written books, and now you're about to embark on this journey around to share havening with the world. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
and also see places. Yep.
Okay,
yep.
Just checking.
Yep.
Veronica,
right.
I'm going to go ahead and ask you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, so I am a practitioner, a havening practitioner. I've been certified a little over 1 year. And before that, I am also a hypnotherapist and an EFT practitioner. So I got interested, I discovered havening while looking for new tools to add to my toolbox. And I fell in love with it, mostly to work with children and teenagers. So before that, I was 20 years and over in health research. So something that seems completely unrelated, but actually all the science, the neuroscience behind havening was really interesting and fascinating for me. So I was able to put together my 2 passions. And now I'm focusing a lot on working really with teenagers and children. So that's become my main focus. So the books came out actually at the right moment, fueled by this interest. So, I don't hear you. Oh.
Sorry, I keep muting myself while you guys are talking and forgetting that I muted myself because I usually just barge into these conversations. Whose idea was it to write the book? Like, who was the first person like, let's do a book?
Well, it started with me actually when for different reasons, a little bit challenges with my own daughter, and also seeing that there were no resources with about evening for children. And I was working with a 10-year-old who was really interested in reading books, children's books, and that was the main way she learned new things. So I had this idea to write the book, and when I wrote it, I didn't know where to go. Well, when I wrote it, I wrote the first draft, but I didn't know where to go with it. So I don't know why me and Erika connected. I don't know, for some other reason. And I asked her, I said, what do you think about the book about evening for children? And she said, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. So we started collaborating, and I say that Erika is the main reason why the book is out, because for me it was a story with some evening, and she added the whole technical part and, all the details about evening and how to use it. And so it started with me, but it couldn't be there without Erika. So it was a very strong collaboration. Last year I was in Italy on the coast and everything with no internet connection, and I tried to go somewhere up the hill to get enough connection to talk to her. It was really nice, and we stayed in touch almost every day to get it going. Yeah.
That's adorable. So,
Yeah.
so Veronica, so I take it that Auntie Rosa was your idea, and then Erika figured out how to make Auntie Rosa come into life in the
Yes,
proper
exactly.
scientific way.
Exactly.
Okay, lovely. I
Yeah.
love that. Is Auntie Rosa based on somebody you know? Is there an Auntie Rosa that you know, or is that your second personality?
Well, actually, Rosanna is my sister, so the auntie, and Maya is my daughter.
Ah,
So there's a little bit of stuff that is, I don't say autobiographical, like some things that really happened to my daughter, and but there's a lot of fiction on there, or a lot of things that I wish had happened, or things that, yeah. So it's nice. And I didn't want to write my daughter's name. I wanted to call her Mia. And she said, why don't you write Maya if it's about me? So that was nice.
aw, that's so cute.
Yes.
Now, Erika, was the teenager book your idea?
Yeah. So
That's
we
because
wrote
you're a
the
teenager,
first
right?
book we
Come
did.
on.
That's right. Yeah. So we did the first book, and even when we after we did like the first manuscript, we talked to Steve Rudin and we sent it to him and we said, what do you think? And so he made a lot of very useful suggestions about, for one thing, we didn't explain why she was sad in the first place. And so he said, you need a reason, because otherwise people can't really relate. So we came up with more of the story. And then also he said, make sure that it has a positive message, that it doesn't linger too much in like sadness, which is a theme with Steve. He's always like making sure that, it's a happy, good story. So we worked on it. And while we were working with him, he was saying, you should have a book about havening for older kids too. So we were thinking about how to do that. So then after we did havening, the book for this book, we had such a good experience writing with each other that we thought, let's do another book. Veronica and I get along really well. And it's fun. It's actually very fun to work on a project. In fact, we've talked about how we miss that. We miss collaborating. So we thought, okay, let's do a book for teenagers. And so we thought, okay, well, teenagers are kind of like adults, but they like things in a simpler way. And a very quick read. Like what's a quick read? A lot of pictures. So we looked at a bunch of different books for like tapping to see how they did it. And then there was a period where I just kept writing every day until I wrote the book. And then very similarly to the way Veronica did it the first time, I gave her what I wrote, and then she helped supplement it. And then we gave it to Steve again. And then Steve said, make it more light, more light. And then we did that. And then we found an illustrator. Both times we had to find an illustrator, which we found actually on Fiverr. that app, and we got really lucky with the illustrators.
Well, I think I should have had Stephen Rudin in the room too, because it seems like
Yeah, exactly.
He's co-inspiration on here.
He did. He helped us a lot to see it from an outsider's perspective. Oh, the other thing was that one reason why I wrote that.
Look at those.
Yeah.
It was so nice.
Such a great illustrator. She was a pleasure. The other reason why I wrote that book is because I struggled as a teenager myself. Like I was depressed as a teenager and I had no tools. I often felt lonely and like I was the only person that had problems. And I would have liked a book like that. And that was another reason why I wanted to write it. Yeah.
That's so nice. Yeah, I would have liked a book like this when I was yesterday. Okay, so here's another cool thing. So you guys have had these books translated in different languages? Which one and what?
So the one that was translated for now, it's Auntie Rosa's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because, well, there are a couple of, the first reason translated.
Let me guess, you put it in Italian because that's easy for you.
Because, yeah, and because I had haven with some Italian friends of mine who are school teachers. And they wanted it in Italian. The first thing they asked me, when is it coming out in Italian?
Yeah.
And French is also because I live in Quebec. So most of my clients are French speaking.
So it's in Italian and French?
And French, yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm working on translating the teenage books, Safe to Be Me, in French. Yeah.
Wonderful. You know, these are such beautiful books. And I mean, they're havening and they're not big. I feel like our community could probably help you with some translations. You know, I have people that have translated into Japanese or what is havening, and I know that they would be happy to translate for you.
That's true. That's true.
If you reach out and say, you know, we've got it now in this many languages, who'd be interested in helping us out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I knew perfect, like how to write perfectly in Spanish, I'd help you. I can speak in Spanish and I can order food in Spanish.
Yeah, but you know, I can write Italian. I was born there. I lived there for 24 years. So my mother tongue is Italian, but I couldn't translate it from English.
Right. Yeah.
I had someone else do it for me because it's too you're too biased from, you know, the other language.
Yeah, I think it's good to have somebody else translate for you.
Yeah.
And the illustrations in this are just adorable. I mean, they're bright and colorful. I like primary colors. So primary colors give me comfort, yeah? Mm-hmm. And I also like repetitiveness. So I like the fact that I see the picture here, the picture there. Those little things actually satisfy my need for knowing what's going to happen next.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's great.
And that was a whole job to get the illustrations the way we wanted.
Uh-huh.
Because they're as important as the text, yeah. Yeah,
especially for kids. I mean, it's like half and half for me. You know, if we could make it have sound, then it would really be the perfect book.
That's true.
Oh my goodness. Auntie Rosa always knows how to make me feel good. I remember her magic hugs and how safe and comfortable I feel in her arms. I would stop time to always feel that way. She also likes to hum sweet songs while stroking my arms and my face. I just want to read this all day long. Questions. Are you guys going to be writing more books, and are they going to be going through the kids' ages, or what's going on next?
We're thinking about doing some books about family havening, and we're trying to get more materials on that too. And actually, I might teach a class with Veronica when I'm in Quebec, in Montreal, actually. In Montreal, because we want to start encouraging families to do havening together. Kids, you know, siblings, mother, parent to child, parents with each other.
That's a great idea.
For bonding and soothing. So we've been thinking about that.
That's really nice. I really like that a lot. I was also thinking for caregivers, like people like who are caregiving, like kids, like moms and kids, right? But also like kids who are taking care of their moms.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a very good point. Yeah.
The caregivers and self-giving and caregiving as well. I think that caregivers especially, they miss the boat on self-havening, and also they could haven their loved one. So this is great. I love it. So first we have to do different languages for this, or we don't. We can't. We can do it simultaneously. You can do different languages at the same time. You cultivate other books.
Yeah.
That's true.
I love it. This is so exciting. This is wonderful. Veronica, did you ever think you were going to write books when you were a kid? And Erika, did you guys ever think that you were going to write books? Or is this just like, wow?
Not me.
No.
No.
Erika, you?
I wanted to write a book. So, well, I wanted to write a book. And so when Veronica said, hey, do you want to co-write this book with me? I thought, wow, this would be awesome. So I was very excited to do that. I mean, I think we really needed each other. I don't think I wouldn't have put the book together without Veronica.
The same is for me.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you need encouragement. Like I started something, a project, and I've told a couple people, but if somebody was like really pushing me, it would be done. I'd be showing you mine. I have a question. With this book, is it like a little workbook? Would any kid be able to just pick this up and use this? Do you think it's something that we could put in schools? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I've been I actually would like so that they can use it with the kids. And I think my connection's not very good. And then also yeah, go ahead, Veronica. You want to add something to that too?
Oh,
Yeah.
I wanted to say that what I liked about this book is that I have 3 teenagers at home. So the one of them just opened it and she said, that's a book I would love to read. Just the way it was written, the illustrations, it's not text heavy. So I think that having the right connections, that would be a great resource for teenagers.
Yes.
Like there should be one in every family.
Yes.
And I don't know if I didn't know. I don't know if I told Erika, but I have a friend who has 4 children who are very good friends of mine. And she said, why don't we gather the 7 of them together and you teach them havening? And that's going to be a very good thing to do because, my kids know what havening is. They don't like self-havening, but they like when I haven on them.
Yes.
But, it's my friends' children don't know about it. So it's going to be nice to see their reaction. I will give them a copy of the book because they're Dutch, so they read English very well too. So I'll see with them, and from there, I think sometimes we start with small things, and then they can talk about that to their friends, and see how it goes. Because in terms of schools, Erika, you were saying that. No, you were talking about your own connection, your internet connection. But in terms of connections to schools, I don't have many, and it's really hard to get in when you don't have connection with people in schools.
You know who we should call? Ghostbusters. No, we should call Charlotte Lewis from the Choose Love movement because she contacted us a few years ago and she incorporates havening in the mindful practice when they do their SEO. Is it SEO? Mindfulness thinking. Anyway, we should contact her and see if she might be interested in this. Also, Erika, you did a project the other day where you went to school and you taught kids in person, live kids. Is it challenging? What are the challenges when you haven a kid? I tried to haven my nephew when he was like 2, 3 years old. I wound up, he didn't really want to be sung to or couldn't sing, but I did wind up havening him, just like kind of stroking his arms. What challenges are there with kids? And please elaborate.
Veronica, do you want to talk about havening individual kids and I'll talk about havening groups of kids?
Yes. So havening with individual kids, it depends a lot on, of course, the willingness of the kid to be touched.
Yeah.
Like as I said, I do it on my children, but I've always been a touchy mom. So they're used to be, like touched and stroked and everything. So they are really okay with it. But I've been working in daycares for the last 8, 9 months. And what I've been doing, here, at least in Quebec, they encourage touch with children. When we ask them permission, when they're, for example, they are for their nap time, we get on the floor close to them and we ask, do you want to be touched, to be stroked? And when they said yes, a couple of times, well, more than a couple of times, with those children who were fighting sleep, I started havening them. They like the hand. At the beginning they like it because it's ticklish, and then it tickles them, and then they just settle. They like it, and even on the face, the back of their head a little bit. And I noticed that they fall asleep in no time if compared when they're not havened.
Wow.
So with very young children, touch, soothing touch is really easy to give.
Nice.
Still, yeah, so I repeat, we always, even before evening, they told us to always ask the kid if he or she wanted to be touched. So
It's Canada, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
not America, because we are so not there.
yeah. No, we do that. We hug them. They tell us not to kiss them, let's say, the kids, but sometimes we cannot help. We do. They don't. There's no big restrictions, but what I found is that young children really love it. They just love it.
Oh,
So yeah.
I mean, I know you talk more about the older kids, but I find like with my own kids, if they're upset about something, I'll say, hey, would you be willing to try havening on this to help you? Or if they're sick, I'll do havening on them. But I also find doing work with kids, if I work a lot with teenagers, is if I show them self-havening as part of a self-care strategy, they're happy to have a technique that they can use. They like doing that. Yeah.
I find with children sometimes when I see them one-on-one, they like to have their parent. If the parent is there in the same room, and I ask them, would you like to try it? Sometimes they go like, no, but I say, would you like mom to try it on you? And they usually agree on that. And I think that is even a better way, for bonding for the parent and the child, and also so that they can take the technique at home.
absolutely.
So that is,
Absolutely. I remember one of our very first trainings in our havening training in the city. A gentleman brought his son and daughter-in-law, and they're all therapists, and they came for the very first havening, and they're in the room, and the son and the father were havening, and the son was havening the father, and the father cried because nobody had ever done that to him. Ever. People go their whole lives without being really hugged really good. Can you imagine? It's no wonder. It's no wonder people are not thriving. Like, so like, especially with the atmosphere over the last 3 years and the pandemic and don't touch and 6 feet away, we forgot how important touch is. I mean, without touch, we're nothing. We're just like inanimate objects. You might as well just be a hair pick.
Yeah, really true. Yeah, when I was teaching in Africa, the driver, the poor driver had to go with me to every time I went to a school. So he had heard the same talk like 17 times. But one time I was driving with him and he told me that he had been doing it on his daughters. He had like 3 girls, and that they loved it. They loved it. I think like all ages, it's just so sweet and caring to be able to do it on somebody else.
Yeah, and you can't really help yourself once you know how to do it and once you see how people feel and how happy they are.
Yes.
Louise Carmi havens everybody everywhere. I try to console myself.
And I did it on my father while I was in Italy, my 92-year-old father. And he really loved it. He doesn't talk that much. He's more like an introverted kind of person, but he always liked that. When I was younger, I used to just hugging and jump on him. I remember when I tell my kids it was so funny, I used to really hug him all the time. And this time I was just sitting close to him and I was rubbing his from his arms, and he really loved it. I could tell, he was really relaxing.
I love that. And Erika, so you just were in the school and you were doing group havening sessions. How did you get the kids to do that, and what did you do?
So I find the teachers, I mean, it's really important to have the teachers participate. And I've taught a lot of teachers how to do havening. And I've also taught the teachers with the students, so that I find that the students look to the teachers as like verification, like, oh, it's, you know, they're doing it too. I'm going to do it with them. I find havening is very engaging. I mean, we did it with some kids that were 3 to 6 years old, and they were completely engaged and enraptured with it. We were doing like alphabet. We were doing songs. They were listening to a book, and it just seemed to engage them really well. But I had a counselor and a teacher next to me, so I found it really helpful. Most of the teaching I've been doing has been teaching teachers how to use it. I've been teaching them in small groups. Like I'll meet with like 8 teachers at a time, and I'll show them how to do it. We had a woman at one of the schools that worked with restorative justice. She was teaching a program to all the students in the school, and she asked a group of 5th and 6th graders, "Hey, would you like to be filmed doing havening so we can teach other students?" And they said, "Yes, that would be fantastic." So they did this on film, where they did havening with songs and counting and affirmational havening, informational havening, and they really enjoyed it. So, I mean, if it's introduced in a positive way, not everybody's going to love it, but I think you can get a significant number of kids that will enjoy it.
I like that. So when you're teaching them the havening, you're just teaching them self-havening for themselves to keep themselves calm, cool, relaxed, compassionate,
That's right.
friendly, warm, like that.
Yeah. What I've been telling the teachers is that when you do havening, you feel loved, you feel
Right.
accepted, you feel reassured, and that makes you more ready to learn. And so I teach the teachers so they do it on themselves, and then they can use it with the kids when they come in. They really like it a lot when the kids are coming in the morning or after recess or a PE, because they're rowdy, and it gets them to settle down.
Yes.
And they also like the idea of like it helps you learn better, and think better.
Absolutely.
I worked in that school that I went to for 15 years as a school social worker, so they knew me. It is harder to break out into different schools. I've been trying to network. Like I gave the librarian 5 copies of Auntie Rosa's Magic Hugs to give to her librarian friends.
Nice.
Yeah. Who helps a lot.
Very nice.
Yeah.
When there, I had an idea, because we used to do this in the group setting when you have a bunch of kids and they're doing like the group havening. If people are amenable, like when we were in Lesbos with Eugenia Karhalias and Irene Hachseva and Miria and Tony, they were doing havening to each other, just palm to palm, sitting next to each other. So if kids are like sitting in a circle, they could just palm haven each other and think nice, calm thoughts. And then they also did it on the shoulders down, like a little conga line. And it was just to calm each other down and to feel safe and cool, calm and collected. But I thought about another thing, because if the teacher has started the room with, okay, everybody, let's haven a little bit before we get started and feel great. And then at the end of the day, okay, we're going to haven before you go home. We're just going to do like this little thing. And Dr. Ron Rudin, actually Doug O'Brien did it first, where they say, okay, so you're going to haven, relax. And what I'd like you to do is just imagine that you're speaking to the person that you admire the most, the person that whose word you admire the most, the person you love the most. Imagine you're hearing their voice. I'm going to speak from them for their voice, and you just continue to haven. And then we would haven, and he would say things like, I am so proud of you. You've become such a wonderful person. You are the smartest, most wonderful person. I am so glad you're here. And when Ron Rudin did it at the end of one session, I was crying. I was like, and it was really, really good. And I would call it like role mentoring, havening group kind of thing, but it was so lovely to help leave them, or we left. Doug would do it at the end of the class. So we went out of the room feeling like, my mentor loved me, or the person in my imagination, because aren't we always just trying to please that person, like my mom or whatever, so it was really wonderful. So group havening, self-havening, affirmational. I love that. This is the perfect way to start.
Yeah, affirmations are so helpful to the kids. Yeah.
I'd like to open the room up to questions. Feather, if you want to chat with us or anybody who's in the background. Yeah, does that sound like fun? Yeah, I think we should. Let's open up. Let's remove spotlight. I'm going to remove spotlight. I'm sure that there's a way to remove spotlight on everybody, but God forbid I should learn. Feather, would you like to join the conversation? I'm sure. Have you worked with kids before? Or teenagers? You've worked with all sorts of like all different ages and generations, I'm sure. Did you have anything to add?
So thinking about areas of focus, when you're talking about other topics to focus on for, other writing. So I actually share my office space with a college advisor, and I have had only one family who's come to me for test anxiety. But there's test anxiety and college preparation anxiety, and there's anxiety about writing essays. And the one experience I had with a teenager, at first she did come with her mom and we did it in person, and I did lay hands on her. But then I taught her in the end of the session to do it herself. And I think we had 3 sessions for her test anxiety, and she went up 190 points on her PSAT between before and after. So I keep hoping that there'll be some more, but I guess the coach here is so good. Well, also I haven't really, I have posters up, but I haven't really found a way to promote very well, so I haven't focused on that. But I think anxiety is the huge thing for teens, and particularly in that transition from from high school to college, or from being in a school at home to going away. My daughter went away to boarding school, and I think that was a huge amount of anxiety there. So that's just one thought that I have, and I've worked with a number of kind of young adults, and some of them have been neurodiverse or LGBTQ. I think the LGBTQ audience is huge and it's untapped. So
Yeah, it's funny. There's a book called Safe to Be Me for that community, for LGBTQ community.
I saw that.
That's a term, that they
Yeah,
use.
I saw that. And actually I have a poster. It's on my door. It's I made it for the Pride. I don't know if we can see it. I made it for the Pride Festival. I did this for the Pride Festival.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Ah,
Got safety. That's so cute.
oh, great.
I love
That's
it.
sweet.
That's awesome. Feather, that's really nice.
So I have I should shut my door. Sorry.
You know who else we should have a neuro spicy book for the neuro spicy for the not typical for ADHDers, for autism, for spectrum. I call it neuro spicy.
It's a great idea.
Neurotypical, spicy.
So I have a number of neurodiverse. I think they identify as neurodiverse people, and
I identify as neuro spicy.
right. So that's been really interesting, and I do have a good friend, colleague who's used havening himself and is actually in a leadership position with our LGBTQ network down where I live. So I think that resources and experience for that that, and the young people. There's so much need for the young people in that community.
Absolutely. But
it's quite an adventure. And I'm looking forward to seeing Erika hopefully in person.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Feather too.
I love it. This is wonderful.
And maybe someday Jamie. I don't know.
Hey, Jamie.
Could happen.
Does anybody else want to come on camera? Yeah. Say hi.
Hello, I'm Jamie. I've been to a few of these meetings, and I was really excited to come to the book launch to see Erika and everyone else. So I'm glad I made it, and sorry I'm a little bit late.
No problem.
Good.
I love the fact that this is going to start a lot of people thinking. What I also like to ask you, ladies, so I know that you can self-publish on Amazon, you can do KDP. How is the publishing process? So the actual back end of this process. So if somebody in the room here has an idea, how long from get to go, and what do you have to do?
Well, we figured it out faster the second time. It took a lot less time. The first time, well, I gotta say, Veronica is more technically savvy than I am. So it helped me, it helped a lot. But then we also had to communicate with the illustrator because you need an illustrator. So we found this illustrator on Fiverr each time. And then we had to make sure that they did the format right, particularly the color, the younger kid book. And then it took a while, but when there's a will, there's a way.
Yes.
What would you say about that, Veronica?
Yeah, as you say, the first one was the most difficult because we didn't know what to do. But yeah, the illustrator gave us the right files to be uploaded on the KDP platform. So it was fine. And we wondered before that if to have it published somewhere else, and the costs and the time were too long. The costs were very high.
Are these both Amazon KDP?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys know, everybody else in the room know what Amazon KDP is? It's Amazon Print on Demand. So you create a manuscript and then you take it, you register for Amazon KDP. It's Kindle Direct Publishing. And that's what it stands for. Do you like how I knew that? And literally you could create a book on Canva, go register KDP on Amazon, take your manuscript, put it up. All you're going to need to do is make sure you have a title, a forward, that you have the text that you want, that you've used the right book size, the book cover. They actually have ways of helping you do that. Literally, if you had a manuscript, and you wanted to publish it by the end of the day, you could. Just say.
Yeah, and there's a lot of patience in there.
There is. It's a lot of tweaking.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not that straightforward. And also when you have an illustrator, sometimes they can help you a lot with the formatting.
Yeah, and there's also lots of YouTube videos that help you figure it out. What I'm basically saying is, yeah, there's details. I run 92 details before the end of my day every single day. So if there's just 20 different buttons, I'm like, easy peasy. Yeah, there's 20 buttons before you can hit publish. And there's like 15 steps you have to do before you even get to the publishing. Let's open up the published book. But what I'm saying to you is you can do it. Anybody can do it. Veronica had an idea. Erika helped her. Boom, book. They speak to Dr. Rudin. Dr. Rudin's like, you should do this. They're like, okay, boom, book. I mean, this was like from just like 6-7 months from one to the other. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty phenomenal. You guys really crushed it.
We're a good team.
Hey, it's true that, yeah, we're a good team. It's true that like there could be so many books out now. Like I love that neurodivergence and some of the other like LGBTQ, that would be great to have more books.
Yeah, please find them.
The thing is that you have to know your audience, I think, because LGBTQ. I've known someone in hypnosis who's a father of 3 children. They're all in that community, and he said, I knew nothing about it, and now he only works with those kids because now he knows everything. Well, everything. He knows a lot about it. But let's say me, I don't know anything about it. So it takes the right people to write a book that really speaks to the audience.
Yes. I think that this really, honestly, as I read it, it's so heartwarming. I really do feel like it's one of those like bedtime stories. I feel like it should be iconic, like one of those things that you should always just include in your kids' libraries. Because it's sweet, it's easy, it's lovable, it's delicious, it's warm and friendly. And if it was edible, I would eat it.
And it has the little section for the parents also in the back, and the educators, which I think it adds some value. It's good so that the parents know what they're doing or what they're teaching their children.
Yeah. You can only do what you know. And you only mess up the stuff that you don't have any idea. So this is wonderful. I can't thank you guys enough for doing this. Is there anything else you'd like us to know? Is there any project coming up that we should support you, or anything you'd like to tell us about? Other than the fact that you're traveling the whole entire world, sharing havening. We're going to call it havening hopping around the world.
I like that. Havening hopping.
Havening hopping
Yeah.
around the world.
It's gonna be a book on havening hopping.
Yeah. You might as well. But you know what I was thinking, Erica, you remember the other day when you were at the school, you had the students do the havening, you had that they agreed to be videotaped, and then you actually did a survey, and then you created a survey with a QR code. This was a little spurt of genius. If you create a survey with the QR code, can't you create a QR code that has the havening, the types of havening and how to do it, right? And then like a little detail. So what I'm saying is if you go to the school and you're like, you should learn havening, and kids are like, I don't want a book, I don't have any money. All right, just copy this code and let them have a free PDF of just the basic movements and strokes. And I choose to feel safe, peaceful, calm. So they have the diagram. So it could be a diagram with description on a QR code. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's true. Trying to figure out how to make it easy to access.
Super simple. The motions and then the description. So these are the movements you do, and just repeat it, and then repeat this chant. And you can try it anytime you're nervous. And if it was just on a little QR code, it could just be like boom, boom, and then they'd see it.
Yeah.
The thought, food for thought.
And that is a great idea because
She knows how.
Yeah, she knows. I don't. You see, you're
Me either.
TV too. Never done that. But what I was saying is that with young kids, I've used the book, but not reading the whole story because when they're preschoolers, that's too long. It's too long for them. So I would just show them the pages, like the illustrations, and say a little bit longer on the illustrations on the three types of havening touch, just the things they needed most.
Exactly.
So what you were saying is to make a shorter capsule, a shorter PDF.
Yes.
That's really great. Yeah.
Just a banner that has the motions on the top and say, these are what you repeat. And then you could say, just stroking your arms and whenever you feel upset. Like literally we used to have something called a quick card, and it was tiny. It was like the size of a business card. Feather, you might have seen them. They're from a long, 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 long time ago. And they were just too tiny. So in my mind, I imagine it would be a PDF, like a QR code for a PDF, and it would be like paper size. I'm trying to pull up a piece of paper that has non-identifying stuff on it, but it would be like a whole paper size, right? They would pull up the QR code, the top would have or even going across, and it would just have the movements and how to do it and why, and just one mantra. I choose to feel safe. I open my mind to learning. I open my heart to friendship. I choose to feel safe, peaceful, calm. Ron Rudin. It's just a thought. I mean, you know how to do it, Erika.
I've been trying to put some resources on the Humanitarian Havening website, like on the school page, on the family page. And there's a poster that's there of adults and a child doing havening and the instructions for each one that they can learn.
She has it. Make the QR code. Send me that code right now.
Okay. It was like, QR code for each thing, or one QR code for all of them. I made one QR code for everything, so it's on a Google Drive, because I was like, it could be QR code crazy with all the QR codes. I'm still trying to figure that out. It's very easy to do it, actually.
When you know.
But I did make a survey.
I love
What'd
that.
you say?
I love that when you know how. Yeah, like how. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything could be a QR code.
That's so cool. I love that. Yeah, this is great. I feel like you guys are going to go and do like a whole bunch of really great stuff, and I'm really excited. Is there any way that we can support you? What can we do to help?
It's like, I feel like, we make these materials, and if they can be used or shared, that would be very gratifying. Like, havening is just getting to be known. People are getting to hear about it, but like, if we can use the material. So, Veronica and we've made PowerPoints, we make handouts, we've done videos, we've done interviews, but if we could spread the word, that would help. And also, I'm interested in getting other people's input too, other haveners. Like, if you have ideas, materials, videos that you want to help put on this family havening page, which is for the humanitarian havening, that would be great too.
I like that. Family havening page.
Yeah.
That's so cute. Anybody else have any final thoughts, comments, or questions for our authors? No? Okay, well, I do. I am so looking forward to what you guys are doing. I would love to help in any way possible. I have so many different thoughts in my mind, so many different like little blurbs, like a little like helpful book for like caregivers. I take care of my mom and I dye her hair pink. And literally the book is going to be called Why I Dye My Mom's Hair Pink. The irony is she gets treated better when she's at the emergency room when her hair is pink and when her hair is gray or off color. And I'm not kidding.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so little brilliant sparks of light that could twinkle for us. Anyway, so
Yeah, you need a publishing partner.
hey, I do.
Pink is
One that knows
powerful.
how to do QR codes.
Pink is powerful. You know, the Burgess pink bucket.
Yeah, why is that? Why is pink so powerful, Feather? Anybody know? I feel like it's like joyful. For me, pink is like a joyful, positive burst of like fun.
In the pink.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much. You can use ChatGPT for translation. Oh yeah, that's true. Michaela was saying that you could use ChatGPT for translation. I don't have any other questions. How can people get your book? Amazon, right?
Yes.
Is it
Yeah.
available anyplace else other than Amazon?
I put it, if you look at the Humanitarian Havening website and you click on the tab for school havening or family havening, you can get a free PDF of it.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
You know what you should do, Veronica and Erika? You should put the links to your books on your havening bio. On your havening biography.
On the website.
Yeah, on the website, on a havening website. Add onto your havening biography. Oh, and published author. Here's the link to my book.
Mm-hmm.
You guys didn't do that yet?
Yeah.
We'll get paid. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Do you guys have any questions? Do you have any final thoughts, Erika, Veronica?
No.
Join us. Write your books. You know, these are really good ideas. I mean, even what Feather was, those two ideas are great, and also the caregiver. I mean, there's so many audiences that could read the book, so that would be great.
I love it. I love it. Maybe we'll put together like a well, we have the book club. We should probably put like a poll in the closed book club on the closed Facebook page. We could put a poll up. We were talking about what manuscripts or what books would you like to see, and then we could put up a poll, and then people could get engaged there.
Yeah.
Let's make more.
Yeah,
Hey,
I think you're right.
we're just about done, hon. Thanks for joining us, but we're definitely going to send out the tape to everybody. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do a poll, and we'll see what we need to do next, and then we'll see if we can encourage people and show them how to do it.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much,
Bye.
Vicky.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Big round of
Bye.
applause.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much. That was super fun. Bye.